Welcome to another episode of Winning with Jed. I am thrilled to have another great guest, Eric Gilman, who is a fellow author, also a Hall of Fame Cutco professional, and just had an amazing career. You have a pretty cool story. Let's start off with the book that you wrote. Give us a little rundown about what your book is about also, and just a little bit about what your story.
Yeah. So my book is titled The Power to Change. In a nutshell, I used to be like a super obese teenager. I got in a lot of trouble in high school, which led me getting kicked out of my high school. I ran into a bunch of problems with the law. Point is, I changed my life around, right? I made a 180 in my life, and I think that the reason that I wrote this book is the same reason we're here today, is the same reason a lot of us are maybe even listening to this podcast, is that my core belief is that if you have the ability to help somebody, in a lot of ways you have a responsibility to help somebody. So I wrote this book with just the purpose to help mostly young people, but just people in general struggling with health, fitness, wellness, and mindset. Most importantly, mindset. I think that's probably what we're going to dig into most today, to make small changes over a long period of time.
So you mentioned, you said you were the obese kid. You actually grew up real local to where we're at here shooting this podcast. Walk us through, like, what causes this obese kid that is getting into a lot of trouble, that sounds like, and you correct me, but it sounds like doesn't really have direction in your life. Obviously, you're getting into all this trouble, you're doing all these things, you're acting out. What happened?
Yeah. So yeah, this is adorable Eric, middle school Eric. They're not here. I'm sure you can zoom in on that. But look, it's really, I think part of the reason I wrote the book is, like, everyone wants to hear, like, this thing that I did, this thing that happened, and all of a sudden it was different, and all of a sudden things changed. But it really isn't necessarily. There's several defining moments throughout that maybe we could touch on a few, but it's all about really that realization, at least within the fitness world, or also with your goals and your finances maybe too, of like just being sick and tired, being sick and tired. How many times are you going to look at yourself in the mirror and tell that guy that the person who's looking back at you is not capable of saying what you or doing what you said you were going to do?
I like what you said there, though, too, because it was Jed. There wasn't just one defining moment. I mean, some people have like this: the clouds open up, a ray of sunshine comes down, and they hear a voice like, "Oh, do this," and you go, "Oh." But for you, and I think for most people that are watching too, it's probably several things that happen that get you to your goal. It's not just one thing, right?
Yeah, and it's never ending. You know, I think a lot of people too, especially when I wrote this book, so I'm 37 now, and I wrote the book when I was like 23, 24. And at that point in my life at 24, I mean, I guess I had everything figured out and everything. I knew everything about everything. So I guess I should turn around and write a book and help people, right? I know it all.
All of us have it figured out, we think, at one point, until we realize that we have none of it figured out, right?
Exactly. And so it's just knowing that, and then just knowing that it's a never ending journey. So when people ask me like, "Oh, when did you hit your goal? When did you change? When did it stop? When were you like on this?" Everyone sees people who are, not everyone, a lot of people see people who are successful, and they view them as being on the other side. That they're on the other side of the difficult times. That they're on the other side of, oh, they don't get it because they haven't had to do what I have to do to get. No, it's never ending. The movement towards that next level is nonstop. So
it's not this race where you're like, "Oh, there's success," and they cross the line, and then you're like, "Okay, it's over, great, like, thanks." It's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
And it's after the marathon, there's just another marathon. And that's life, right? Yeah. And it's like, if you don't think if you don't want to do anything extraordinary, then you're more than happy to be a bystander of the marathon. But if you want to do these things you see people doing, you go, "Oh, it sounds so hard, and it seems so like challenging." It's just mostly just sticking to it continuously, and we talk about like expanding your capacity, right? And so getting to that small goal and just growing into a bigger one, and getting to a slightly bigger goal and growing it to a bigger one, and really just growing that over and over again. And people just really get discouraged, I think, between steps 2 and 5, and success is at step 25.
What I'm hearing you say is like, look, it's a sprint to this step, and you get there and you're like, okay, and then it's a sprint to the next step, and you're like, okay, but and it's not really like this final destination where you're like, I've finally reached the golden moment. It's a lot of moments that kind of build up to get you to your goal.
The golden moments are the moments that lead up to the moment. The moment itself, I've experienced some pretty cool moments, is just a moment, and it's just fleeting. The Hall of Fame award, or the end of we talk about the bike ride, or like a huge like milestone. It's just a moment. The real purpose of a goal, if I could say anything, is like, it's like the purpose of a goal is to become the person who pursues that goal until the very, very end with everything you have. The true purpose of the goal, so say you want to, if we're talking real estate, like sell 25 homes this year, or double your production, right? So like the true purpose of that isn't necessarily to see like, can I double my production? It's like, can I pursue the double my activities, or double what I need to do to double my productivity until the very end, until the last minute where it's the whistle is blown. Like if you watch any professional sports, I mean, rarely you see them giving up in the fourth quarter. They go till the very, very end. So I always just view that as like, whatever the goal is, it's just like the purpose of it is just to pursue it to the end. So like I've been with Cutco for almost 19 years. I've hit probably less than 2% of every goal I've ever gone after. I mean, that's generous.
But you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yet I am in the Hall of Fame.
You're one of the top, you've been the top salesperson before. So isn't that good?
It's great, and I'm happy with it. The point is, though, is like that's why I succeed in other people's eyes. Is I fail more than other people are willing to try.
I think it's interesting though, and I brought this up before. But if you ask people that are successful or have been successful, do you feel successful? And then and it's interesting what they say. So I'm going to ask you, do you feel successful? And just be honest,
To my own standard, no.
So what's interesting about that, though, is the really successful people that you ask always are like, I've done some good things, but I'm not where I want to be. And it's like you said, it's just this, it's like one step to the next step to the next step. And I wonder sometimes, like, if you ever sit there and look back at the end of your life, are you going to look back and go, I was successful?
So that's a great question. And I thought I would answer kind of in the same way that would be in alignment with. Do I think I am successful, especially if I'm holding it to my standard? No. Am I happy with the success I've created and the things that I've done? Absolutely.
Sure.
And I think that's the balance that separates like a lot, because you got to be.
We could be really happy with what we've achieved and still not feel like we've reached our full potential and our success, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's you've done some amazing things. Let's dig into a little bit more on your upbringing and kind of, so you're this kid, you're struggling, you're doing all of these things, and it sounds like several things happen, and then you're just magically amazing and successful. Is that how it went?
Sure. That sounds so nice. Just bring, and then he's great. It was a matter of just failure after failure of, I think sports in high school was a framework that helped with that. But then I got this crazy job selling knives, which gave me this framework to actually structure being better in a little bit at a time. But I would think the first thing that made me take control of myself was take control of your own schedule and your own time and your own time block. And that was when I first realized, I was like, I control my time. I control the things, especially as a teenager, you're so inept to we're going to go do this and we're going to go do that. At a young age, I got this crazy job selling knives, and I was like, I actually have to have a schedule and have a plan. And that from the beginning, just led to a building, definitely the foreground, the building blocks of, if you want to live a life by design, you have to become a master architect.
Well, one thing I'm going to note about you, and you can disagree with this if you choose, I don't think from everything you've told me that you ever try to do it the easy way. It seems like you're ready to tackle whatever it is that kind of comes your way. I think that when people hear Cutco or knife salesman, that's a pretty tough sales gig, right? Like, for a lot of people, you're knocking on a lot of doors, you're getting a lot of no's. Is this a challenging job? You've stuck with it for 19 years, and it sounds like it's a challenging job. So tell me, like, what is, and you're in the Hall of Fame, so like, it doesn't just happen. I don't think, you tell me, but I don't think it just happens naturally. You just end up there magically. Like, isn't that tough?
Absolutely. So, kind of answer your question on two levels. I think one is kind of my automatic response of like, oh, everyone needs knives. But that is truly rooted in I think that the bottom line is a belief.
Yeah.
The belief in what you do, period. You sell homes, everyone needs a home. I sell knives, food needs to be in smaller pieces. You sell cars, people need to get to a different location. You sell, but so it's like.
And I think that ties in with, like, in my book, I write, like, if you don't believe, nobody's going to believe for you.
Right.
So you exhibit that. And I think that's really, really strong. And that's an important piece. No matter what you're selling, you have to believe in it. Otherwise, people will see right through it, right?
Well, let's bring it back to shut up and win, right? Talk to the right person. I love that in your book too. Make sure you're talking to the right person. That's been a huge part of my job. That's a huge part of business in general. Is you spend we're selling knives is B2C, right? It's business to consumer, but B2B, you spend, especially, that's a lot of what I focus on. Now you spend a lot of time wasting your time talking to the wrong person, trying to sell to the assistant or the secretary, the person you really need to be talking to. So coming back to, I think we could have a whole discussion on this, is ask good questions. That's like the root of a huge part of, let's side bet that for client retention is like ask good questions. But yeah, I mean, it is challenging. So it comes back to is a belief, and then obviously, asking the right people, the right things. But it's just figure out if you really want to do whatever it is you want to do. If you want to utilize whether you're selling homes or sale or insurance or knives, if this is going to be your money making vehicle, commit to it, and 100%. And when it comes up with the challenges, it's stick to itness. I
like the stick to itness.
I mean, I've been said no. It's really cool. After doing this, 19 years, and I've been in the B2B side for 10 years. There's no. And you've been in sales for your whole life. Like at a certain point, after you've been doing any sales job really for 10 years, there's no objection that I've not heard, or there's nothing that can really like phase you too much. Occasionally you get that wing ball.
Let's talk about that for a second though, because we talk about challenge. A lot of times challenge is being able to handle rejection. Right? I know I've experienced it. I think anybody watching this, they've got to be like magical human beings if they haven't experienced it. Like, how have you dealt with the rejection? Sometimes it gets pretty heavy, right?
I got to credit my two older brothers for this one. Okay. I'm the youngest of three boys.
Okay, so you got beat on.
It was always, when I was youngest of three, my age separation was, they were 4 and 6 years older than me. So they kind of had a thing going on. And then my age, like 4 through 12, until one went to college, and then it got even worse between me and the other one. But it was like I'd hang out outside their door after dinner. Hey, can I come in? No. All right, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Hey, I got some Twizzlers. Can I come in? No, you can't come in. All right, I'll be back. All right, you can cut the head off my teddy bear and have the Twizzlers. Can I come in? It's just negotiating nonstop. So that was just like the abrasive.
That was your first experience of mass rejection, and then you had to keep on going for it. Eventually, you found your way in.
I think that's really just what I think separates, and it's a game of rejection and just being able to say
it's a game.
Let's talk about the game too, because I love playing the game. It is a game, and it's emotionally detaching yourself from. If you're playing a board game and you're playing Battleship and someone sinks your Battleship, I mean, some people do. You don't flip the board and say, hate you forever. Okay, you lost the game. I lost this round. Touche, let's play another game. In sales, it's a lot like a game. It's like, all right, your move, my move. Your move, my move. Now, you don't want to mess with people. You're not like playing with people, but just like continuously following up, and that follow-up, it's this game of touch and go, and eventually you'll win the game, meaning a sale is made, or you'll lose the game. They tell you to go away, or it's a someone flipped the board and they never called you back.
I jokingly tell people too, and I put this in the book, which was you're only defeated once you give up. Because if you keep on going, like with your brothers, your example of like keep on like, no, you can't come in. Well, you could say, oh, okay, I guess I'm not getting in. And it's really easy to give up, right? But that determination, I love the determination that you had, even in your heart at such a young age of, okay, well, I'm going to give it another go. I'm going to try again. And like, it's like, get back up on that horse, try again.
I mean, I live by the Rocky quote, dude. It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's like sales. And if you're not willing to get hit, I mean, you're talking to a guy, I was helping a charity boxing match over the weekend. I ended up in the ring. I was helping and I ended up in the ring. It's like, if you're not willing to get hit, like, don't even be part of the game. But it's a high contact sport, but it's a fun game that you can play with people. And at the end of the day, if you're playing it the right way, I think it's important here because he's just playing a game, he's just messing with people. Like, no, if you play the game the right way, everybody wins. You win, they win, everyone has a good time. It's not like, oh, it's a win-lose. It only means like, oh, you win, I lose. It's like, no, there's a win-win in every game here.
I think this is an important factor. I wanted to like hit on this because people would say there's like this whole idea of the salesperson where you're trying to convince people to do something or take something that they don't need or don't want. And I hear what you're saying, and I agree with it. It is a game of some banter back and forth and some interactions back and forth, but ultimately you want what's best for the person, right? And if you have a belief that this is going to be what's best, legitimately, it's helping the person realize that. Would you agree with that?
No, 100%. And in fact, I really loved in the book, and I listened to one of the other podcasts, I think most common misconception about salespeople, myself included, speakers, I'm a toastmaster, I'm a comedian, I love talking, I'm always going to grab the microphone.
And you're great at it too.
Thank you, appreciate it. And that's not why I'm a Hall of Fame sales rep. The reason I'm really good at sales is I'm a really good listener. And I think this part, shut up, is how you win.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge part of it is, I was like the interpretation of like don't like shut up and win is not like, they're just shut up and make your bed. It's like, no. Close it down for a little bit right here, open it up right here, and it's amazing how much can go in when this is not feeding out, and these things are just absorb, and then, like a thing of Play-Doh, you can actually put out more output.
It's really hard to be strategic if you don't know what you're up against.
Yeah.
Right? And the only way that I know to figure out how you can win or what you're up against is to listen to what people have to say. People will tell you a lot if you will just listen. I want to highlight some more of these accomplishments because I think as people get to know you, like I was blown away by some of the things that you've done. Now, you also rode a bike across the whole United States. What in the world goes through your mind that makes it like, I don't want to ride a bike like across town. You rode one across the United States. So like the entire country.
East to west, not north to south.
Okay, so east to west, yeah. So like, he went the long way, everyone. So like you go and do that. First of all, why did you do that? And how did that even come to be?
I rode from Miami to San Diego. 3,100 miles. I raised $125,000 in change. I built a hospital in Haiti after the earthquake. So
you physically built a hospital?
I went to Haiti 4 times, 4 out of 7 trips. I was part of a group called Angel Wings International, angelwingsinternational.org. So you can check out the story there. And I'm glad you added it because it's like I haven't spoken on the ride in like a little bit, but it's actually, let me give you like the equation for Eric Rides for Hope, right? Because it was Eric Rides for Hope. Started super small. Did the Run for Hope, which was in 2016. I ran the Rock and Roll Marathon. I raised $2,500. And this is when I talk about growing it, right? That was in 2016. It was $2,500. And then I did the Fight for Hope, which was I boxed my best friend. So I did. That's what gave me the confidence to get back in the ring.
Who won?
Last weekend? I won. I wouldn't be talking about it. I didn't win. He didn't want to know, baby.
That's why he's your best friend.
I'm technically,
you knew that you could take him out.
Exactly. It was. I mean, in all fairness, nowadays I would not get back in the ring with him. It was a testament to who's stronger, an endurance athlete or a weightlifter. He was the weightlifter. I was the endurance athlete. I won, but now he's much bigger than me. So I would never climb in the ring.
I don't want to get hit.
Not at the age of 37. He's far exceeded me. But and then it kind of just came down to I did the Fight for Hope, and then it's combining. So Eric Rides for Hope. It's combining like what you are with what you like to do for what you like to do, right? So it was like Eric, I like riding my bike, doing physical things, whatever it was, rides, and then what do you want for hope? Hope and health, or hope and healing in Haiti was our like mission statement. So yeah, that's the catalyst of it all, but the equation is you plus something you love doing for what you love. Life is it's a series of ups and downs, right? And especially if you've ever biked or if you've ever run, and you usually go in like a circle, right? It's just you finish where you essentially started the loop, right? With when I was doing the bike ride across the country, it's like something you learn in just life is you think that when challenges are coming and you get over the hill, the challenge that's sitting in front of you, you think in your back of your mind, like, I got it. I'm over it. It's done. There can't be another hill behind that because I already went up. But that's life, man. Life doesn't guarantee anything. There could be a hill just as big, if not bigger, behind that next one after that. And I think being successful is taking what you learned on that hill before and utilizing that to get over the next one. Not about like, oh, I expect to have a downhill after this one. Because that was one thing I realized after going a long way one direction is there's no downhills guaranteed at all. There's no break guaranteed. There's no
you could be going uphill for a long time.
For days, dude. For days. Yeah.
Okay, so talking about client retention, okay, and how you retain clients. I think a lot of people, if you want to be successful in sales, there's some great statistics about how retaining a current customer or existing customer is a lot less expensive than going out and finding new customers every time. So, I mean, you've been doing this for 19 years. Would you say you have a lot of repeat customers? Absolutely.
Yeah. So of the last 10 years of doing B2B, like repeat and referral based business, we've got about, 5,000 people who purchase gifts from me personally. And about 3,200 of them have ordered a second time, which is pretty great. And then over $3,000 will continue to order, continuously over it. So our team aims for client retention, right? And making sure that we take care of our people and it makes sense that they use you and only you in the future. Now, I know our knife cycle is different than a home or a loan cycle, but relationships are relationships. And that's what we focus on, is putting the people before the product, the relationship before the referral. And it just always seems to work out.
So what would you tell someone, they're out there, they're selling computers, they're selling cars, they're selling their services, they're selling technology, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What would you tell them would be key? What should they be doing today so that way they can retain clients, build their client base, that whole bit?
A long-term retention and referral business is built off of raving fan clients. People who want to love your business and love on your business and want to come back to your business and rave about how much they love their Ford Mustang or how much they absolutely love eating at your pizza place. They won't eat any pizza anywhere else. And so the goal is, how can you build those people? How can you find those people? Everybody wants 1,000 million awesome 5-star Yelp reviews, but how do you get there, right? And the key is one at a time. And I think the fastest way to get raving fan clients is to become a raving fan of your clients.
So walk me through this. This is really important, okay? You got to become a raving fan. A lot of people, if they're being honest, probably wouldn't naturally be raving fans of the other people, right? It's not always natural. I mean, you can correct me. Like, is it always natural?
Nope.
Okay, so it's not always natural, so we know that. But, so you're saying, fake it until you make it.
Sort of, but not really. Good. I love what you're saying here, because it's the old 80-20 principle. I didn't make this up. The Pareto principle, 80% of your future business comes from 20% of your current clients. The key is, and this is the hard part, right? Is finding that 20%. And that's where you're gonna have to fake it till you make it. And that doesn't mean be fake. That doesn't mean be inauthentic. That just means love on people. Love on people, and if there's no reciprocation, if there's no love back, then find other people to go love, find another customer to love. I think part of the reason I'm really good at what I do, my mom always taught me growing up, it just ingrained in me, is like, it's not the size of the gesture that counts, the fact that you make a gesture in the first place. It's really that a gesture can be literally as simple as holding the door open, a genuine compliment, or buying somebody a super awesome gift, or taking them out to some super extravagant thing. But sometimes that really heartfelt comment or that really nice handwritten note actually to somebody could be way more impactful than the $2,000 dinner you just spent or the nice coat that you bought or whatever it is. So, and everybody's different. So it's finding that. And I think going back to what we were talking about before, how to do this for so long, like playing that game and winning it and losing it a lot of the time. And also losing the game is, you put out the love and you put out the love and you put out the love, and guess what? You get slammed down and they say, hey, take your love and shove it, dude, because I love somebody else. I'm looking for people who are interested in the value that I'm adding. If you have no interest, if you don't see, I have clear value. I have a clear value proposition.
So you don't need other people to tell you you have value. You have value regardless.
I almost have too much belief in my own value. So Brooker asked me the other day on a panel, he goes like, why don't you tell us about, I'm dead serious, I'm like 100 people. He goes, why don't you tell us about other gifts that people really love to give that are really good ideas? Like, what are you talking about? There are none. And everyone laughed. I was like, do you think I would be in the Hall of Fame if I talked about what Mercedes Hall of Fame sales rep talks about how great BMWs are? Like, or even better, what Mercedes Hall of Fame rep talks about, let me go more relevant, talks about how great bicycles are.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? So the point is, like, it's like I'm ingrained in my
That's
belief.
a good point, though.
But I am one of the best, I think, at lead generation and follow-up. Consistency and pleasant persistence. I pride myself as being one of, by far, I don't know how you rank this, hands down, I'm one of the most consistent, positive reps of all time. And that's why I'm successful. And I think more importantly, too, that's why I live a great lifestyle. And like, not trying to brag about it, but like, I live a very calculated and balanced and like kind of planned out lifestyle compared to, I think, a lot of maybe other independent 1099 sales reps who are like, oh, well, we want to do that as soon as I get this. It's like, no, I make plans 2 to 5 years out, and I, for the most part, get them done. You know, not this is perfect.
That's pretty powerful. How do you decide what you want to envision?
It's a good question. It kind of changes every night or every day, right? Like, first of all, you write it down, right? So journaling. You write down your goals for the year. You write down your goals for the month. You write down your goals for the week. What do you want to do this week? If it's not written down, it's not going to get done. If you don't have a calendar, you're never getting anything done. If you don't have a goal written down, a metric for the month, I don't know what you're planning for the week. And if you don't have a goal for the year, well then, like, how do you even expect to have a travel or plan for the month, right? Like, again, be a master architect.
But how did you decide what you want to put on there?
What's your why? And what do you want it to look like a year from now, 2 years from now, and 5 years from now, and next week?
Does your life look like you wanted it to look like 5 years ago?
Pretty close.
Okay.
I would say within a factor of a lot of things have changed, right? And that's why I hesitate when I say 1 year, 3 years, and 5, because frankly, man, as we get older and times change and things happen, you're like, it's funny to think 5 years out because things change, right? Hey, if you had asked me about my plan in 2019, about my plan for right now.
Well, and it's really important that you say that too, because we make these plans, right? And it's going to be, like you said, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is. And then the question is, did I hit that? Well, adjusting your plan does not mean you did not reach your goal. In my opinion, I think success is a stairway, right? Like, and each step you're taking is getting you closer and closer to where you want to be. And quite often, people lose the momentum halfway up and they go all the way back, and they've got to climb that stairway again. And there's the part of it where I talk about, like, the hardest step that you're ever going to take is the one just before you reach success. It's that top step at the very top of the stairway when you've taken every other step, and it's like you're about ready to take the step, and then people just like go all the way back.
Yep.
If you know that things are really, really tough, I say, get really excited. Get excited, because if it's really tough, then that means you're almost there.
I think more people stop short with the first step. They get maybe excited.
So they don't even
the
get
first
started.
one too, but it's just it's analysis paralysis. And people make grand plans, but they never take this overwhelming action. One of the first things I learned early in Cutco, I remember one of the top reps in summertime, he goes, the first call is the hardest one to make always. The first workout's the hardest, the first mile's the hardest, the first phone call's the hardest, everything's the hardest. But as soon as you do it, I mean, we all know this, right? As soon as you're in the gym, walking on the treadmill, you're like, I'm going to be a fitness person. As soon as you're making your third phone call, you're like, I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame. You're like, but it's that first, it's that the inertia, right? It's the initial push of anything, but the domino effect of sorts.
And once you actually get some motion, right? Like you put things into motion, it gets easier to move forward, right? Because you've already got a little bit. It's that initial bit.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, and I think that's more, I think we lose, I mean, again, it's both, right? We lose more people in that beginning step of like, oh, it's just overwhelmed by like this first step that you have to do. And you're thinking about the next 15 steps. So like, just take that first step, man. Like go to the gym tonight, like do the thing, make the call, run the drill, do the training, like whatever it is. But people just I'll get there, because it's
so then how come you're able to make that step? We talk about a lot of people, and I would agree with that, but then why are you able to make that first step? Why is it challenging for other people, and why can you consistently make that first step?
I mean, I wish I had some like cooler, better answer. I think of David Goggins to you, where like, I'm going to it's 5:30 minutes, raining outside, it's dark. It's the darkest part of the year. We're coming in the next few months. It sucks. It's going to be cloudy. I don't want to go to the gym tonight, but I will look at my pants for about 10, 15 minutes like David Goggins. So sometimes I look at my shoes for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, get out there and run. Like, I wish I had some better answer to you, but the difference, like, successful people and unsuccessful people both know the right thing to do. The successful people just do it anyway a lot of the time. And
wait, so this is great. This is great, because successful people and unsuccessful people know the right thing they need to do. The successful people just do it though, and the unsuccessful people don't.
We all know what to eat. We all know what time to get up. We all know the right things to do. We all know alcohol makes you bad. We all know that early is better. We all know 30 phone calls a day. I mean, I'm not making it up, dude. It's not real complicated. Like, people just vastly overcomplicate. Oh, I got to do this. I got to cut out carbs. And maybe if I get this coach, and maybe if I move to this place, or maybe if I change my team. Like, dude, wake up at 5 and get it done. I don't have time. Get up earlier. I don't have the resources. Make more phone calls. I don't have the money. Change your group of friends and change your location. By just telling you this right now, Jed, I have to go to work out tonight. No, I said that partly too. So here's another thing: is light yourself on fire and invite the world to come watch you burn. Let people know. Like, before I said that I was going to ride a bike cross country, I thought about it hardcore. I was like, well, don't make that announcement unless you're ready to. I remember distinctly there was a huge gap between me deciding to do that and then doing it. But like, I remember like an hour before I put it on Facebook, I was like, don't do it unless you're ready. Don't do it unless you're ready. And I put, if I bike 150 miles tomorrow, who will donate $150? I've never biked 150 miles before. I've only biked 106, 110 miles maybe in my ideal home conditions. Anyway, post. And then love him, Heath Hilgenberg, a broker out of the Palm Desert area. He first comment goes, I'll match anything that gets donated. And then it just started flowing. So you put it out there, right? And so by the time the bike ride had started, it's I would raise like $3,700 or $3,800 or something like that, plus the match. So you got to go. So first is like, put it out there to the world, right? What are you gonna say?
Put it out there to the world. Yeah. Well, it's accountability, right? Like, you're saying, hey, I'm going to do this, and now that I said I'm going to do this, now I really have to do this.
Yeah.
And it's this accountability factor where you're like, I don't want to be a liar. So I'm going to have to do what I just said I'm going to do, and that might be stressful. But if you want to reach a goal, sometimes it's saying that you're going to do it.
Yep. So just put it out there. And then, I mean, wind was a huge factor for me. At about 8:01, when I pulled out of that parking lot, I mean, I was like, damn, dude, it is going to be a rough day. The second I turned into the wind, I was like, this is going to be tough. And so fast forward, so I started at 8 a.m. I thought in my mind, maybe around 6 p.m. Maybe around 6 p.m. I'd be done. It was like 6 p.m., 8 p.m. I'd reached 100 miles. So basically 2/3 of the way done. So it's 8 p.m. I'm in the woods of just outside Tallahassee. And I think it was like that moment, right, where like I could have stopped. Like there's nobody being like, you gotta finish today. Like the money was already donated. Like it was already in. There's nobody's gonna withdraw their donation probably. That'd be pretty rough.
But you said you were gonna do it, and by golly, you were gonna do it. Right?
Well, I think it comes down to at that point, it's like work as if the people who depend on you most are in the room watching you work. And I think as salespeople, as independent people, we're so often like, it's so easy to be like, oh, I'll just go do whatever I feel like doing right now. I'm going to go do whatever it is, the thing that I feel like, whatever it is. But what if your kids were sitting there watching you, would you take that nap? If your spouse was there, would you check your Instagram for the 14th time today? There's a lot going on in here. But so anyway, I was like, let's go. So I pushed through. It was 8 p.m., 9 p.m., biking through Western Panhandle, Florida at 5 p.m. on a Friday, or 9 p.m. on a Friday. It's wild. Like the drunk driver, it's wild watching people on these roads, man. I'm a bicyclist with one light. It was one of the top 5 most dangerous nights of the ride. Just simply, I was fine, but like just seeing.
You're nervous, but you got to get through this.
Anytime a light was coming behind me, I pulled off to the side of the road.
You're just like,
I'm not taking any risks.
But you're not giving up.
So bike through, I get to Quincy, Florida. It's this one stoplight town. It's where my hotel for the night was, but I'm at a mile 148.5. And I know I can't post the screenshot of 148.5 to all the followers. And it's like midnight. And like, so there's like one bar in this town. It's Friday. There's like 7 or 8 people in front of this little, one bar in this little town. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start doing some laps. So I start doing laps around the town. And then like lap 2 or 3, people notice me. I notice people notice me. And then by lap 5, there's a couple people every time I go by like, yeah. And then at this point, after I finish, I feel like I owe them a little explanation. So I stop in front of the bar. I did 151, just one for extra credit. Because sometimes the Strava, the tracking app will go back a mile, like it miscalculates or whatever. So I was just throwing an extra one on there. Anyway, I stopped in front of the bar, and this one guy, so I'll never forget him, dude. Super long hair down to his belly button, bandana. Looks like he's been to every Grateful Dead concert that happened in Florida. And he's smoking a cigarette, and he looks at me. I stop, and he goes, "Where did you come from, man?" And I'm like, "Miami. This is 900 miles away." And he goes, "I think I'm tripping right now." And I'm like, "I'm real, dude." And I gave him a sticker, and I was like, "Trust me, it will be there in the morning." It's just they talking about like people want to give up like before play until the whistle, right? Play until the finish, because it's you versus you till the end. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, I could have given up, but like it's how you do something is how you do everything, right? And so like, yeah, I think whenever we let that fear hold us back, like that's just you robbing yourself of like what could have been.
Speaking of fear, speaking of overcoming your obstacles, what's the biggest piece of advice you would tell your younger self if you had to redo something or change something? What would you tell your younger self 19 years ago? What would you have said? You come back in time and you're like, "Hey, Eric, I've come back from the future. I'm 19 years in the future. You need to know.
Buy more Apple stock."
Buy more Apple stock.
Just say, yeah, aside from all my stupid Back to the Future jokes. Say the thing that I've just kept doing. Just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. It's as cliche as it sounds. Keep your head up and keep moving forward. There's been a handful of times in my life where I've thought about stopping, quitting, ending my own life, doing something horrible, like really being dark. So for mental health, this and that, ups and downs, like, and this, and I guess maybe to sum it up too is like, don't judge, and this is more of a recent, like, don't judge your raw footage off of someone else's highlight reel. Like a life of comparison, like comparison is dead ass the thief of joy. So only compare you to you. And if you can compare your current self to your previous self and be happy about that, then that's happiness, period, end of story. If you're better than the version of you that was before, then that's something to be proud of. If you're not, then work on it. But other than that, Everything else is out of your control. Don't look to the right, don't look to the left, only look in the mirror and look straight at yourself, and I wonder how can this person change this person and help the other people around them.
I think that's a really good point, because a lot of times people they'll look online, they'll look at social media, they'll look at the results, somebody that's been doing something for 25 years, and they make something look easy, and then you're trying your first go at it, and you fail miserably, and then you're like, what the heck, like how come this person can do it? And so it's an easy thing to look at other people's highlight reels, like you say, and to judge yourself. And I think it's really good too we all talk to ourselves, right? And in just like a natural, our thought life, right? And it's really easy to be hard on ourselves. But what if we're our biggest fan, right? What if we could encourage ourselves in those dark moments? And I think it's important to remember that. You were going to say something.
Not getting too existential, but like none of that, like you're building this thing, this grand plan, like none of that matters. What matters is the experience you have with the people around you at the moment. Like that's all. So
being the best version of you, having a vision, consistently going towards it, and not letting anything get in the way, but also having a really strong why. So when something does get in the way, you have something that's going to push you past the really difficult moment. Would you say that difficult moments are fleeting, or do you think that they always just stay?
They're always around. They're always here. So the two things is like, one is like, number one, man, just have fun. Like just have fun.
I love that. Because
like all this, it's perspective, and just smile, and part of that comes from perspective. Like everyone's like, oh, you're having a bad day. Like, oh, it's raining. Oh, my car's broken. Oh, did you die? Do you on fire? Or do you have two legs, a breathe air, a wallet? Do you own a wallet? That's crazy, dude. You have a credit card? Who cares what's maxed out? At least they gave it to you. First of all, get your life together. But also point is like we have like insane amount of things in perspective. So whenever it's like if you're like sad, like just think about it for a minute, man.
Okay, we're wrapping up. We're going around the corner here. I want to hear, for everyone that's watching, your biggest piece of advice that you either give to people or someone gave you in your entire life. What's the biggest gold nugget that you've ever received?
Excuses are like assholes. We all have them, and they all stink. That's it, man. That's why I live my life by this. That's why I got tattooed on my arm. Don't make excuses. Excuses are internal. They're brought on by you. I'm not perfect. They're in here. They happen all the time. But the difference between an excuse and a reason is something external. An excuse is something you made up in your own mind of why you can't do what you said you're going to do at the time you're going to do it. So he just taught us, that was early on at age 16, he taught me the difference between an excuse and a reason. I'm late. That's an excuse. I'm tired. That's it's an excuse. My leg is broken. Okay, that's a reason. But just don't make excuses for the person you want to be, because the only thing that separates you from the version of you that you want to be was generally the excuses you made between when you said you were going to be that person and the current person you are.
I love it. Don't make excuses. Don't be ashamed of what you want. Go after it. Make steps every day towards that goal. Have a vision where you want to go. It's been a really powerful conversation.
Have fun, dude.
And have fun.
That's the most important part. That's the circle that goes around the whole thing.
It's true. And you're a great example of that. You do a lot of things that are a lot of fun. I wish we could probably talk for hours and hours.
I'll be back, episode 125. Come get me.
We'll bring Gilman back. Thank you so much for taking the time to come in here and share your wisdom and your life experience. And what was the name of the charity that you raised in Haiti?
Yeah, and congrats to you, man. This is awesome. From Shut Up and Win idea to book to podcast to exciting to where it's going next. So, the organization in Haiti is Angel Wings International. That's the website, angelwingsinternational.org. I'm the sharpest guy for all things Eric Gilman and Cutco and all that, man.
And you're the book, The Power to Change. It's a great book. Where can they find that?
It's on Amazon.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome, man.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
Jen.
Again,
Appreciate it.
thanks for coming.
Yep.